hope you're all doing well. Pixelbox doing some hacking, but as always, keeping it bloody legal. So, new jacket coming in. I went and ordered one because, I mean, when it's cold, I wear my business shirt when I'm working, and I put another jacket on or a jumper on over the top, and, you know, it blocks everything. So I thought, well, I might as well get a jacket done with the logoing. So I went into the place where I get my shirts made, because I've already got the file on the hand there, and got the jacket made up. So same as the shirt, small logo on the front. Actually quite a nice jacket, $110 isn't too bad. And then the big logo and the writing on the back. So two big pockets either side here, and a big one just here that literally goes like the whole length of the jacket. So you can stash stuff right down in there. So yeah, very, very happy with it. But I was asked, so I put up a photo on Instagram of the RFID clothing machines that I have, and I put about some of the toys in my kit, in my arsenal of stuff. And I was asked what stuff I have, and can I do a video on it of all the stuff in my arsenal of attacks and toys to play with and stuff like that. So I thought I'd do a video on it. It's going to be quite a big video because I've got stuff in the shop here, like the training gear and stuff like that, and then the stuff out in my vehicle, which is for jobs, and some of it for training. So in here, you've all seen my picking station. You've all seen me pick blocks before. So I've got all my couple of pick sets and stuff like that, and my vise set up on the bench just here. You've all seen my key cutting machines as well, the ones that are over. Got turn it here. So the normal key cutting machine that I use, cutting house keys and the old bump key sets and all that stuff. The one for laser cut keys or dimple lock keys and stuff like that, and then the buffing wheel for it. You've seen all my key blanks over here, and more storage of key blanks. I have RFID tags for when I need to clone them, and my two car key programming devices, which again you have seen. So I'm not going to really go into that all that much. I've got all my training equipment down here, which I'm about to get organised and together, ready to go over to Bendigo. It was cancelled last time because of the storms we had come through. So it's back on, so I'm heading over to Bendigo this Monday. And some of my equipment, so the equipment I've got in here isn't just for training. Some of this is also for pen test jobs and stuff like that. So for the long range surveillance and long range, well, mainly surveillance, when we have to do surveillance on a job, I've got my cheap little monocular telescope, which we've all seen. I've done the video on this, that connects to your phone, so you can video from a distance, like zoom right in, take photos, so you can take photos of people have their keys hanging off their pocket. We can sometimes snap photos, or watch surveillance or record videos like entrance to try and get pin codes or anything like that. If they stand off to the side and type the pin in to open the door. Sometimes we can catch it with this. If not, I have my photography kit. So in here is my SLS camera, SDLR, single digital lens reflex, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head now. SLR, I think it is, single lens reflex. Yeah, SLR. So I've got that in here when I used to do photography for weddings and birthdays and stuff. So I've got the unit here, and I also have a huge telezoom, well not huge, but a really, really good quality, high quality telezoom lens. This is a Tamron. So you can zoom right in on a target from quite a long way away and takes really high quality photos, to which then again you can zoom in on. So I have my kits here, plus it also pays if you need to make up ID badges or anything like that. We've got the photography gear to take high quality photos of ourselves and make up some badges if need be. Although I am looking at getting a badge maker, but they're literally like $500-600 up to about 2,000. So got to pick my purchases at the moment. But I won't need my photography gear for this training. I'm going to take the monocular one though, because it's small. I have my hacking and RFID kit. So this is still getting products added into it. Again, these are all tools that for both not just training but also in our arsenal for attacks that we can use. So we've got the kit here, and of course you saw, well, you will have hopefully by now. I have my two of my RFID cloning devices in here, like this. I've got a lock, RFID lock for showing people. You copy, the rings, put them on the rings and stuff like that. Some spare batteries, a couple of cables, a microphone for listening to safe dials or listening through walls and stuff like that. So have one of them on hand. Always comes in handy. That's why I have it on hand, because it comes in handy. We teach people about hidden cameras. I have some like this one here. This is an ESP32 camera. We can plug this in to a little battery pack, stick it in a coffee cup with the lens pointing out of a hole, and put an SD card in the top here. And we can actually live stream this on our phones from a distance, because it puts out a Wi-Fi signal, or let it record onto here and then, hidden camera. So we teach people about hiding small little cameras like this, or in my laptop bag I've got a pen that's actually a camera. So we teach people about sweeping for bugs. So I've got a cheap little bug sweeper here that comes in handy for looking through there with the lights going to find little hidden cameras around, or any listening devices or anything that puts out a Wi-Fi signal or radio signal. This thing picks it up. So we teach people about that. Again, I've got a little soldering iron in here, some solder just in case I need to solder some wiring and stuff like that. I have our ESP key, for again RFID readers. I have a little camera which I modified, so this we can use again to see infrared lights. This will actually pick them up, because they say a multi-spectrum camera. All you do is take the infrared filter off of it. There's a little glass infrared filter that goes over the lens, and you just cut that off. And it does affect the pitch quality a little bit. It's more fuzzy, but you can see how far out an infrared light will put its beam to where it will cover. This kind of picks up on that, so good one to have. And of course, I have a old de-author watch, just to tell people, we can get de-authors in a little watch. But this one's actually set up as a Wi-Fi captive portal. I reprogrammed it for that reason. And again, another ESP32 camera, but this one has a bigger antenna on it, so we get more range out of it. And all this again is to show people and for people to learn that always be on the lookout. And again, we can hide cameras around places and watch video feeds if we need to. I have a little Wi-Fi repeater if I need to boost the signal, and one of our hacking boards that I can program to be a de-author or anything I want for hacking stuff. So it's always good to have a spare one in there, and our little safe cracking device as well for the e-safes, little chip that does them. So that's some of the stuff in my little hacking and RFID kit, which will be going on the training. Up the back, so I've got the bobs. You've all seen the bobs for teaching and training. I have another key machine sitting down here which I modified to cut to code. That one again is for training, so people can have a go at cutting a key to code themselves. So we have that ability when we're out and about as well. That one I modified like my other key machine, but I left the hand crank on it, so I can still cut a key to code if I don't have power. Using the space and depth keys, and just have someone cranking on the crank on one side really fast while you cut a key to code. So it can be done out in the field if you don't want to use literally clippers. So I have that. I've got 2 safe dials there for training. All the products for sales. I've got my impressioning and move this one out for a second. So I've got a kit over there which has files in it, an impressioning file so people can actually have a go at impressioning. I've got other files to hand file keys, so you can duplicate or cut keys or code roughly using a hand file. So it's like a key making box. I've got a couple of plastic molds in there as well for key casting. That's just the training kit. Again, if we're out in the field and I need to impression a key, I can still do that. You know, if I do the old sight reading cuts for wafer locks and it's not quite right, I can use the file to slightly impression where the wafers are sticking. Again, for training, to teach people as how to escape handcuffs, we have a clear training handcuff to teach people how to pick handcuffs. Especially security guards, they get really interested in how they work and how they be picked. Zip ties. These ones here are reusable ones. The only reason why I bought these is because they're cheap, and the fact that we can use these to teach people how to escape zip tie restraints using the necklaces that we produce. So these ones are great for cutting through because there's something that anyone can get their hands on. Whereas these bad boys are our proper zip tie handcuffs, and these are a lot more expensive. So these ones we use for teaching people to shim and how to bypass these, not actually cut through these ones. The other ones we teach them to cut through. These ones are for bypassing, so that they can be used multiple times. So that's in our little escape kit, which is still in the process of getting made, but that'll be going over to there as well. I've got a heap of training locks in there for picking and stuff like that, so that people can actually have a go at picking locks. So that is kind of like my training equipment. Then I have my hacking equipment and long range photography and stuff like that, so that we can teach people about both cyber and physical. And it also comes in handy, as I was saying, for pen testing jobs. I have the ability to cut the code and cut some of the high security keys and stuff like that here at the house or in the shop, but also have the ability to take that with me as well if need be. And I have a heap of key blanks for cutting and duplicating keys and stuff like that. So that is mainly, and in my hacking kit, another handy little piece of kit to have, little bits of wire for bridging terminals and stuff like that. Always pays to have a little bit of wire on hand. Out in my laptop bag that goes everywhere with me, I have master keys. I also have a pen that is a camera, so I can actually, if I'm doing, I can walk through a building that somebody wants us to do a pen test on, we go through with the management and stuff like that. I can have the pen stuck in my pocket and record video if I'm going through. And so then, like, look, we can use stuff like that to teach people that, be careful, because cameras can be hidden in anything. And you cannot notice, unless you know it's a camera, you will not know it's actually a camera. So I carry that. I've also got all my hacking equipment for cloning car key or hacking car key remotes or garage door openers or gate openers. We can intercept the signal for the gate. Let's say a building that we've got to get into has a big gate that goes across, but it's radio remote controlled. We can actually access that signal and open and close the gate ourselves using this hacking device. Also got the deauthors and the captive portals in that. Another cable which looks like a phone charging cable but actually is a bad USB, so that when people plug it into their laptop or their computer, it runs a script and I can either remote access their system. I've actually got a program for good just to show them, that these things exist, and it looks like a normal cable, but it isn't. So I've programmed it for good, but if I wanted to, I can program it for bad. So I've got quite a bit of hacking equipment in my laptop bag. Also in there carry, as I say, in the master keys, I also carry a little bit of photography film for over the door attacks, a traveller's hook, and a few other bits and pieces. On my person, as you know, I carry a couple of latch slipping tools like the Viking Slim Jim band, my everyday carry with pick sets again. Those of you who don't know, it's the Sparrow Bombo Royale with a couple of additions. So in here, the only real additions I put in is one tool which I'm covering with my thumb, which is for cars, center tops cars, and I threw in a couple of other tensioners on top of the keyway and a wafer lock tensioner. And of course my bypassing kit with master keys, like common ones that I use quite often. So my bypassing kit is the Covert Instruments Covert Companion. I use that mainly only for bypassing. I don't really use the picks, but the tools in there like the cone picks and the waterlock picks and the wafer jigglers and stuff like that come in handy. And of course master keys or common keys. So that's on me. That's the part of my kit. You've all seen my business wallet as well, which has got everything in it. So that's all the stuff that's in here and on me. The rest of the toys are out in the vehicle. So stop this. We'll head out to the vehicle and we can go through the rest of it. So see you in a bit. Alright, so out in the vehicle, and I've got a new mounting system for my phone, so I can actually record videos when I'm out doing jobs. So sitting up on the side of the wall here, and it's a bit loud because there's a bus right behind me, which is now going. Sitting up, plugged in, or held on to the side of the canopy mounts, where it mounts onto the actual trailer ute. I've got a little blog video recording tripod that also runs a little ring light as well, so I can cast light into here when I need to. But I can also record videos of me doing work around, out and about in the vehicle. So the layout in here for working and for when we have to do pen test jobs and stuff, we work out the back of the vehicle here. They've got 2 battery packs, which you've seen, which I use the solar panel on the roof to charge. I have a 1000 watt inverter sitting right here. It's a pure sine wave, so that I can run TVs and laptops, charge them and stuff like that off that. My equipment in here though is which I'll let bash around to the back of the ute. Got a little hard hat with some stickers on it, just to make it look like it's been used. A little lock force. So yeah, this gets bashed around, beaten up, but amazing how many places you can get into one of these. And I've got some high vis shit, high vis vests, I should say that word. I've got another one which seems to have got stuck. Come on. I have to grab it out. Let me give it a second. It's got stuck. Alright, since it was hooked up, so I've got one of each. I've got an orange, depending on the work site as to what I need. I've got an orange one and a yellow high vis vests. So it's amazing how many places you can get into with a hard hat and one of them. And of course, to finish off the look, one of these. Although this one I also double, not just for pen testing and stuff like that, getting into places. This one also doubles. It has the paperwork and waivers for vehicle lockouts, for automotive lockouts, so that people have something to lean on when they write and fill out the paperwork for us to break into their vehicles. So, binder board, high vis, best things to have on hand. You get into so many places with it. Little dustpan and brush to clean up mess. That's got to come out. I have another key machine right here. So another key cutting machine. This one is completely stock, so it literally just duplicates keys. That is it. You press and hold the button for a couple of seconds, and it automatically, it's an automatic key duplicator. It will duplicate keys. So usually I don't have to cut keys to code. out in the field. Normally if I'm around and about, it's normally just a duplicator key. If I have to cut one to code, I can use my leashy clippers that are in here, or I'll bring my other machines. If I know what the job is, but usually I just have to duplicate, so it pays just to have a quick and easy key duplicator on hand that I can plug straight into the inverter and run it off the battery box. Which sounds like it needs a bit of oil. So that sits down inside just there. My other tools, I have my underdoor tool. I've got a couple of tools down the side of the toolbox is this. So I've got my underdoor tool, which, as you know, works great. Long reach tool that I made and use for opening car doors, for grabbing all the door handles or lifting up keys that if they're sitting on a seat, or pressing buttons or anything like that. One of my favourite tools at the moment is also down the side here. I've got another piece of metal here which I can use, bend and use for automated lockouts. The button master that you've seen the video on by Access Tools. This thing is friggin' awesome for button locks. So easy to use, so effective, works like bloody charm. So my long reach tools and stuff like that, on tools, I usually keep down the side of the toolbox here. The big double drawer box that I use. So they all sit in here nice and comfortable, out the way. Excuse the noise. I then have two drawers. One's filled with like my stuff for the car. So I've got one on the right hand side is full of, you know, like jacks and ropes, stuff for the car itself. And a couple little backup things like little gas cylinders, gas stove, little pots and pans and stuff like that, just in case, you know, you never know. So that's on the right hand side. The left hand side has all my locksmithing equipment in it, which is the one with the lock on. Oh, I also have, it's no good going anywhere with a key machine and no keys. So mounted and fixed up here, because it gets hooked onto a little latch that I made. If I can unhook it, there we go. Is toolkit, toolbox, which has been rubbing, and in this is where I keep key blanks. So I've got literally key blanks in here. Some of the most common ones that I come across and need to cut. Also a tripod if need be. Also got a cylinder removal tool that SC Lock and Key sent me. That's a little selfie stick tripod for, you know, if I find an interesting job. So I keep most common key blanks in the top here, easy to access. Underneath I carry a few extra bits and pieces. So I've got some cam locks for replacements, tubular key cutters to cut tubular keys, the tools and everything for adjusting and fixing the key machine, key duplicator. Some little brushes, because I don't have a big brushing wheel in the back of the vehicle. Got some little wire brushes to brush off any burrs on the keys to make sure they work nice and smoothly. So all that sits in here and all locks up. So that just sits again, hooks in on a little bit over there to hold it in place, stops it from sliding around everywhere. And then if I get into the drawer, if I unlock it, this is the locksmith's drawer. as I like to call it. So in here I keep all my other tools. I've got a big long screwdriver because you never know when you need one. Duct tape again, or cloth tape. Whenever you do a job, make sure you clean up your mess. So that's why I carry the dustpan and brush, and I've also got some chucks cloths. So they sit in here, which reminds me I've got to put that back over here. Dustpan and brush sits over here, hangs on the side. Lock lubricant, great stuff. First thing, right in the bottom of the front of the drawer. If I get to a job, key's not working, usually I'll test this first. The key starts working and I know it's just gummed up. So lock lube comes in handy. I've got a tin in here that's literally on hand. I've got one in my portable repinning kit, which those of you that remember my portable lock picking station, that is now my repinning kit when I'm out and about in the field. Little Dremel, again, comes in handy. Just cleaning up when I have to install strike plates, or latches or anything like that, or little bits and pieces that you need a fine tool for. Little Dremel tool comes in handy. It's a little battery powered one, which you recharge off USB cable, so it's quite easy to recharge. There's all little bits and pieces. Just it comes in handy. Some people don't like them, but I haven't had a problem with it so far. I've got a drill bit set. I've got some locks for installs and stuff like that. I've got another security bits, screwdriver bit set. Never know when you need security bits. Electricians' screwdrivers. Now I use these because less likely of scratching up knob sets and stuff when you're installing them. The plastic just helps protect. I have my other toolkit here, which has some really cool stuff in it. Oh, not some really cool stuff, but little pokey tools. Great tools to have. These are like O-ring removers. That one there, the hook, works really well as a traveller's hook. But pokey tools always come in handy. A set of gloves in there. I've got a mallet for small one. Great for wrapping locks, teaching people wrapping. Also just helps to have a soft touched mallet. And again, tools. So not only is this great for lock installations, that's why I carry like chisels and the latch tool. This thing works really well. So I found so far for installing the latches. They're just, yeah, I haven't had a problem with it so far on the jobs I've used it on. But again, spanners, screwdrivers, just tools. Tools. Always pays to have tools. I also have in the tools department I like organisation. If I need to go loud, I can. So I have a battery charger in here which charges. Get it? So I can. This one's got lights on it, so I can keep the charge on the charge. I check it every day. Battery pack for powering tools such as, I've got a impact driver. You never know when you need one, like that. Or again, this thing works so well. Little grinder cutter. This thing works really well for cutting chains, locks, and stuff like that. So I keep that in here. Got screwdriver bits, and stuff like that. So, an empty packaging that needs to go. So yeah, like drill bits, tamp bits, threading bits, So literally, like, this is just for power tools that I would use, and of course a big battery to power them. So that stays in here. So that goes in there, that goes in there. I like to be organised so I know where stuff is, so I can grab it straight away. Put the battery back in the charger. And this is my break it to anything kit, as I like to call it. I also got a Slim Jim in here, just in case I need to use a Slim Jim for anything. I don't normally use this. This is like a super last resort, or if I need to, you know, hit someone with it. It's about all it's good for. I'm not a fan of it, put it this way. So here is my break into anything kit, as I call it. I have a tubular key tensioner, brass tarnish brush tensioner. This is a tubular tensioner, round spring-loaded tensioner, which I actually don't mind for raking. It works quite well. So that sits in here in the front pocket outside. So if I, you know, got to get in to pick a lock to cut a key, decode it, whatever, that thing works well. I don't normally pick locks now by hand. If it comes to cutting keys, I usually all use a lishy and then decode it using that. But this is my bag of toys for gaining entrance. So I have a J-tool. I'll stay on the other side here so we can see a little bit better. So I've got a J-tool for thumb turn bypass tool. So I have one of them, which comes in handy. I have double door tool for going in and pressing on those crash bars to open up doors. And of course, what automotive lockout person doesn't have trucks going past? Airbags. So I literally have a few different air wedges. So these don't just work well for automotive lockouts. For under door tools, if you can't quite get the tool under the door, sometimes you can use this to lift the door a little bit, hook on the inside, pull down, then let go of the pump wedge, and should be able to open the door. Sometimes this just gives you that little bit of extra leeway, or spreading a door apart to allow you to slip the door latch, just to disengage the guard bolt plunger. These things work well for that. Lock cam, a little USB endoscope. I've done a video on this here. Plug it into a tablet like my one that's set up for it, and can actually look under doors or look into locks a little bit better, see what's on the other side, see what's going on, so we can find our way around. Much cheaper version than actually buying the automotive lockout, the endoscopes, the ones, the heads on them that you can actually see and bend around. It's a cheaper option for you. Shims for padlocks. Tubular key, tubular picks, I should say. Canned air, aerosol air duster. Great for wreck sensors and cleaning up out locks and stuff like that. Comes in handy. Again, another tin of lock lube. They've got them everywhere because you can never have enough. Again, to go with pump wedges, I've got some more wedges here for automotive. Hand warmers for tripping sensors and stuff like that, and when it's bloody cold out, always good to throw some of them in. Packaging strap. Plastic strapping, great for old school entrance methods into vehicles. The old plastic coat hanger, as it's called. This is a big heavy kit. This one here has again, I don't use this stuff all the time here, but it's always good to have on hand. I've got, this is great for penetration testing, master keys. These are all heavy machinery keys, and if you don't know which one's which, I have the card for it just here. So I've got heavy machinery keys. I have bump keys. So Oz 5 set that I cut and sell, got them here. I've also got I believe that is a JA or JB, I can't remember exactly, keyway bump key that I made. Some more bump keys. I have jiggler keys, Automotive jigglers, the Sparrow's coffin set, great set. Also have the Southall pin tumbler jigglers, they come in handy as well. And a set of the VAG. These are steel keys. They're going a little bit rusty on the edges. These are the VAG, the VAG keys, jiggler keys that are used. Just another little helpful one to have on hand. And again, heaps of bump keys. So all these sit in my master key and bump key set. So jigglers, bump keys, master keys. All sit in this little kit here. And labelled so I know what's what. I have another kit here. It's an old pick kit. This actually has bypass tools in it. Like comb picks. I've also got broken key extractors for removing broken keys, quite a few of them, different ones. A set of the picks in here, mind blank right at the moment. Scarab, quick kinetic tools, a Sparrow's knife there, little ultra decoder, Euro thumb turn, the thumb turn like for Euro bypass drivers, ones with a thumb turn on the inside, and that's also a padlock driver for American locks. We don't really get locks here in Australia that can use that bypass. Plug spinner, again, super bloody handy piece of kit to have. My pick kit, which I carry in here, this is the Southall C2010, I've done a review of it, which I've also thrown in a few extra picks. I've got like the Medusa in here, I have the reflection set, the Warlock, the Octo Rake, and yeah, ones of those in there. But a great little set, great for locks, good selection of picks and rakes. Slim Jim, a little bit of wire that's bent that we can use. I can use to go in and actually bend this around. This is really thin piano wire. The Adams Wright tools to bypass Adams Wright locks, just pull down. Can work. Again, favourite, love these tools. The Traveller's Hook, my go-to tool. Also got like Southall Lat 17 snap gun, comes in handy. What else? Bump hammer for the bump keys. That's off the aerosol canister. In here, I have a Tibby pick, which for some reason some of the handles are coming off of. So for picking Tibby locks, I've used it, it works well. Usually I try and stay away from the lock, I'll go for the door handle or a button or something like that. Put these back on, don't know why these come out. And I also have a Ford Magic Key, which I have used for a lockout, an automotive lockout, on a Ford, I think it was Territory. I used the Magic Key on that and got the lock open really, really fast. I mean, like super fast. So the Magic Key works really well. Put in the boom, 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 automatically picks the lock. Worked really, really well. So I've got that as well for automotives. Again, these here are for the Digilock, so these are Digilock bypass tools. Cross lock keys for picking cross locks or jiggling cross locks. I carry a set of rakes on me, cross lock rake keys that I make, but these are the ones you can get off COVID Instruments. Micro shims, do not leave home without one. I carry one in my wallet all the time. Homemade traveller's hook. I also have a traveller's hook on the outside of the bag, so first tool I go for. That's why it's on the outside of the bag. I also have the Sparrow's Magneto. There for, again, bypassing locks. This is one of my most used kits because I have my Lishy picks, so the LW5, and the spacers in it that I print. So these are for picking lockwoods, most common lock we come across, and I can pick the 5 and 6 pin versions just with the use of the spacer. I have the Grainsborough TE2 pick. I also have my little vice grips to go along with my little handheld Lishy key cutter. So I can literally, and I have a set of space and depth keys in here for lockwoods. So I can literally cut keys to code using them out in the field, like decode, cut a key with these, and have a working key. I also have a little card here that has the LW3, the spacing for LW3s and small little wafer locks. So I can take this card, stick my key blank up against it, mark the spacing for the wafers, where the wafers sit in a lock. I can then pick the wafer lock, sight read it, and then cut with a pretty good estimate of where the actual wafers are sitting, the spacing for it. So then I just have to focus on the depths. For cutting little wafer locks, doing the sight reading cuts that I do quite often. It works super well. And of course, I carry some key blanks for doing that in here as well. So I can just literally grab this little bag here and go. And covers a lot of it. A lot of the stuff. So that's pretty much literally like, again, spare needles for the snap gun. And a little prior tool, just to pry stuff. So that is in my break into anything kit. This covers a lot of stuff for me. Allows me to gain access into a lot of things. And yeah, the straws come out of that, but that's fine. For both automotive and residential and pen test jobs. So, and of course training, teaching and training. All this equipment gets used for that as well. That can all go back in here now. So I can literally just grab my bag out, and I've got nearly anything I need. The other thing that I have in here, once we get everything to sit back, is inside here. I also carry a automatic center punch, which I flatten the tip off. So this is one of the spring-loaded auto center punches. Push down, it punches a dent. Great for stubborn hinge pins, putting center holes in stuff to actually drill, and breaking glass. So that goes in there, along with a little kit full of different tension wrenches, because you never know when you need the right one, or never know which one you need. On my person as well, which goes with me everywhere again, every day. In my pocket, I carry the hammerless hinge pin removal tool, which come from Red Team Tools, and the Cobra Minis. So I pay like $60 for these, but they are so worth it. These I use literally every single day, non-stop. Best tools I have. So that is literally, oh, that magnet's stuck. all my equipment that I use when I'm doing jobs. I also carry like gloves on the side of the tool bag, and you know, like Allen keys and screwdrivers, all different types and sorts. And so to get this back in it, because it all fits in here nice and snug. Like that, fits in there like that, clamps this down a bit. So quite literally, that can actually go in there. I might throw these back in here. Oh, and for my under door tool, the keyback system with Kevlar line that I use for the under door tool, rather than the steel cable that it comes with. I just find this works better, and it clips right onto the back of my toolbox here. So I'll close this up now. So that is, and I've got a little car fridge up there that runs off the packs, the batteries when I'm out and about. Keep my drinks cold. But that is quite literally my equipment that I carry and use and have in the back of the vehicle and stuff like that. So anyway, as always, I was not camera flying. Check out all the links in the description down below. If you'd like to see, give a thumbs up. Really do appreciate it. And remember, keep it legal. Until next time. Cheers, guys.